All right. So one more night after tonight, things are rolling along. Everybody's finishing everything up. I am grading things as quickly as people are getting in. They are doing that last minute rush. So it is taking me a little bit of time to get things in there. Like I said, everybody's rushing, rushing, rushing. 10 o'clock tomorrow night, Thursday, 5/2. That is the deadline. Nothing is accepted after that. Please don't try sending things in email afterwards with excuses as to why it couldn't be done. I'm sorry, they cannot be accepted. The class closes at 10 p.m. So please make sure everything is done at that time. So we are going to get started here as soon as I get to the proper class screen that I want. No, I don't want that screen. Here we go. This is the screen I want. And there we go. All right. So I've gone through, I've put temporary zeros in the grade book. Not to create confusion, again, those are temporary. That gives you an idea of where you're standing right now. Hopefully, it's inspiration to get some of those assignments done. 10 o'clock tomorrow, that's a short time away. So please get in there, complete those. We are in week 4. And so we are all the way down here. We are in Wednesday. Today, results coming back from career services. Okay. If you did not have an interview, I know you did not. I've reached out to career services and I've talked to them, and I know you didn't. So please don't go back and put a debriefing comments in. I'm making note in there that you did not have an interview and you have a 0 score. So please don't go putting in remarks. I know you haven't had an interview with them. I've got confirmation back from career services who all had interviews with them. If you say you're meeting with Princess in Career Services, I've communicated with Princess. I know if you are or are not meeting with her. Okay. So please don't go that route. Okay. So just to give you a heads up on that. So those grades are in there for everybody that did them. Everyone who participated, you did exceptional on these mock interviews. I'm very proud of you. That the value in these is immense. Okay. These are people who interview hundreds and hundreds of people. Their feedback is important. You learn very valuable items. You know exactly what you are doing. This is feedback you don't always get from going to a job. So it's important to get this information back, find out exactly what you're doing well and what you could improve upon. So that's why this was such an important assignment. So I appreciate those of you that took the time to do this. Okay, the Q&A informational interview. Again, the more feedback you're getting back from these things, you don't realize how important this information is until you get out there on the job. This real world experience, how it sets you apart from the other people. And that's what gets you hired. That's what moves you ahead. The thing that sets you apart, that puts you ahead of them. If you're just like everybody else, they can hire anybody else. You want to be above them. You want to set yourself ahead of them. But if you're hanging back with everybody else, you're just that, another one. You want to be number one, not another one. Okay? So we're at the end of the class. You still have the time to take all this information in and push yourself. This class has always been about you and improving you and benefiting you. Take this information to push your career. You want that high pay? Use this information. You want to move ahead? Use this information. The career is yours. How you make it or break it is up to you. Nobody's going to come along with a plate full of careers and go, take your choice. That's not the way this works. Careers take work and it takes growing and nurturing. You have to do it. Okay? It's not a participation thing where everybody gets one. You have to do it. The career plan, that final project, this is a big percentage of it. Take the time, fill out every single item on it. And that final exam, that's a big part of it too. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that tomorrow. Okay? So please close everything up, get these assignments in. Everybody's watching. Your campuses are keeping track of this. I've sent them the reports out showing where everybody stands. So everybody's keeping an eye on to see how this is all going to mesh out. I want everybody, this to be a one and done class for you. Okay. I don't want anybody to have to retake this. I want this to be a one and done. It's a required course. You have to complete this for your certifications or for your degree. Okay. So let's get on. We're going to do our last full lecture. We're going to have a miniature lecture tomorrow. It's going to be a little bit shorter. So let's get on with this one tonight and see where we are. Protecting your identity. Everybody's got an identity. We hear about identity theft all the time. And unfortunately, it's becoming more and more rampant. It's happening more and more often. So we're going to talk about and identify identity theft, explain how to recognize and report employment scams. Something you may not have realized. There are employment scams out there. Potential risks that can be encountered when using the internet. We're going to talk about malware and list some examples and how to create and maintain a security plan. Okay, you need to protect your privacy when looking for a job online. And identity theft is an illegal act that involves stealing your personal information. And they use it to commit theft or fraud. Okay, two different things, theft or fraud. And you need to be diligent during your job search. Okay, that means it's up to you. Use caution and common sense with your personal information. Do not include social security numbers on your documents, okay? You're applying for jobs. There's no need for a social security number. And contact the FTC, that's what the Federal Trade Commission is, website for guidance if you suspect your identity has been stolen. So if you think your identity is ever stolen, go to the FTC. Whenever you think this has happened, they're there for you. Okay, applying for jobs online means going to places you're not familiar with online. Okay. So you need to be aware of fake job advertisements. Okay, because they're going to be designed to get your personal information and that can make you more vulnerable. So you got to be aware of that. And you have to watch out for unsolicited emails that say they're going to give you a job, but they're not. Okay. So when you get something from a company, make sure it's legitimate. Make sure that the company's URL, that part of the email address, is um, the the URL is actually part of the email address. Okay, so if they say they're from such and such company, that needs to be in the email. If it's not, something's a little suspicious. The other thing, misspelled words. Okay, companies, legitimate companies, don't misspell their words. Grammatical errors. Their sentences should be functional. They should be proper. They shouldn't sound incorrect. And anything that tells you that you're going to need to set up direct deposit, bank accounts, credit card information, anything like that to apply, no. Okay. You do not need any of that to apply. Anything asking you to verify any type of credit, bank accounts, anything like that, no, do not. And if they tell you that the job is incredible and it sounds too good to be true, chances are it is. Something is suspicious. Go with your gut feelings on these things and be wary of it. Okay, if every place is offering $20 an hour and they're asking 40, something could be up. Okay, so investigate the employers. Go to their website. Make sure that the information in the email you receive is correct. The address is correct, the name's correct, phone number is correct, and report them if it's not. Okay. Every time a search engine is accessed or web page is visited, your computer is identified. Okay. And it's identified by an IPA. Okay. Or an IP address. And it's a number that's used to identify your device on the internet. And it tells them your approximate location. So it pinpoints where you are. Boom, right there. There you are. So they know approximately where you are at the same time. Okay. And you should be going to web pages that are secure. Okay. And secure web pages begin with HTTPS colon slash slash. Okay. And if not, that S right here, that one right there, that means secure. It's not 100% foolproof, but it is generally secure. If it's only HTTP, stay away from it. Okay. And some may display an icon that indicates it's secure, but it must have that S. Okay. And try to avoid fake Wi Fi. And how can you do this? Okay. Number one, verify if you're in a public place, the name of the hi-fi or the Wi-Fi hotspot. Okay, some of them will use similar names to try to fool you into connecting. Okay, and the access key. Verify you got the right access. Now, the reason why they want you to use a fake spot instead of the legit is because your data going across here, if they can intercept that right there as it's going across, then they can feed your data up and they can read it. And they can pull out your data and they can take what they want. Okay, so check with employee, make sure you got the right Wi-Fi name and the access key, and confirm it before putting in any payment information, especially. Cookies, we all love cookies, but cookies are actually bits of data that's left around on your computer, and it has information about the places you visited. So if you don't clear those cookies out, you can actually go back and find out where you've been, places you've been, things you've accessed, etc. So clear those cookies. And there's ways to protect a computer from cookie-based attacks, okay? And so with those cookie-based attacks, what they can do is they can go in, they can snag those cookies, and some of those cookies have passwords and login information. So that's why you clear your cookies when you leave, because if you don't, they can go in, steal your cookies, and they've got your login and passwords. So that is a place you can do it. So try not to do that. The other thing is people will go in and they get your browsing history, and then that's how they will start targeting you, is based on your browsing history. So try to keep from allowing places to give you cookies or accepting cookies so you can opt out of them. Now, some sites will not allow you to access them if you don't accept their cookies. Okay. Now, these definitions are on the final exam. Phishing has nothing to do with those things in a lake, but it's fraudulent emails, copies of websites that trick you into giving up information. Okay, give you hints. You're not going to get a truckload of M&Ms. You're not going to have your McAfee virus. You need to send them money right away. You don't have to pay off any IRS bills with the Apple cards. Okay, these are things that happen all the time and people fall for them. If there's something that tells you that you need to click here to go to a link to pay a bill, go to the link website manually. Don't click on that link. Type it in. Check to make sure if you have a bill manually, because chances are you're going to click on that link, put in credit card information to pay a bill that doesn't exist, or you're giving them credit card information on a fake site. So don't do it. Okay? Now, malware. This is a term for software that's designed to damage, destroy, or steal data. It's not a virus, okay? This is an actual program. That's all it's destined to do, okay? So now, what's the difference between it and a virus? Virus is designed to negatively impact a system and spread. So my malware is designed to damage, destroy, or steal. Software is designed to negatively impact. It could slow you down. It could do anything, but it's going to spread. Malware is going to stay there and it's going to damage or it's going to lock up, things like that. Okay. Then there's adware. Adware does not necessarily harm you. You can use adware necessarily free. The thing is, you have to put up with those ads in the background. Okay. Now, some of it can download advertising automatically without you knowing about it. But typically, a lot of adware, you know it's going to download the ads, and that's why you're getting to use it for free. Now, spyware, this software, you don't know what's going on. You're working, and it's sending reports off to another system somewhere. In other words, it's doing exactly that. It's spying on you and it's telling somebody else what you're doing. Now, ransomware, we're hearing about this a lot lately, takes over your system, locks you out, and you have to pay a fee to somebody or they're going to completely wipe out your system. It holds it for ransom until you pay money to regain control. Okay? So you should have some sort of plan. Antivirus software, it's a great way. Mobile security is something else you should consider having. Mobile security you can put on your phone. It can block phone numbers. It can block places from outside the country for calling, things like that. Secure passwords. We all know about these passwords, uppercase, lowercase, 27 letters. Don't use phone numbers, don't use addresses, things like that. Now, multi-factor authentication, this is becoming more popular. You see it where you have to put in a phone number, then they text or email you a password. You have to type that in to get into your account. We use that here at STC. Security settings, check them and change them often. Change passwords often. Don't keep the same ones because they do run automatic scanners that just keep trying till they break in. Cloud-based backups. Back your stuff up to the cloud, up on the internet. This way, if something happens to your device, you have a backup you can go to if you should happen to replace it. In your book, there is a copy of a good security plan. How practical it is for you, that's going to be up to you. Okay, everybody has a different life and has a different way of living, and you have to do what's right for you and within your means. Okay, some of these are very easy to do. Secure passwords, antiviruses, backing up data, things like this. A lot of these are easy to do. Pop-up blockers. Sometimes you can have those, sometimes you can't. We have books here at school that require you to turn the pop-up blocker off. So these are things you need to take a look at and see which ones you can have and which ones you can't. Firewalls turned on and off, that could be set up by site as well. Now, passwords. These are always fun. Weak ones are considered easy to remember words, all lowercase, no symbols, 6 to 8 characters. Mediums, you start adding in uppercase, lowercase, maybe a symbol, 8 to 10 characters. Strong, you start getting them longer, upper, lowercase, random letters, not using words, numbers, and symbols. 10 characters or longer. The more complicated they are, the better they are. All right. Now, tonight, I want you to think back at this class. Different things that we have done in here, these live sessions, recorded sessions, and the participation assignment, plus all the other assignments, and how well you've done. How well do you think you've applied good work ethics? And could you have improved? And if so, how? So thinking how you've applied yourself to this class, how well do you think you've done? And if you could have improved, how would you do so? This is a self-evaluation, and this is an important career item. Every so often, go back, take a look at yourself, and figure out where you are, what you've done, and how you've done it. So this is our self-evaluation. Take a look what you've done in the class so far and how have you done? Again, no right or wrong answer. This is you evaluating yourself and tell me how you feel about the work you've done. All right? And that is it for tonight. Tomorrow will be our last session. We do have a session. It will be short so that you can get into the last part of the class and finish things up. And so I will see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. All right? Y'all have a great evening.